Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching my videos. This time, I've put together a guide on how to play against Eldrazi, along with my thoughts on sideboarding strategies. I've also included a bonus section on effective ways to deal with Mindbreak Trap. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. Even if I end up with 6 cards, there's a chance for a stronger hand, so I'll mulligan. I'll send Tendrils of Agony to the bottom. If I go all in now, I'll be short by 1 mana. I'll use Vexing Bauble to lock things down. My opponent is prioritizing board development, so I suspect they might have multiple copies of Thought-Knot Seer in hand. I'm going all in. From here, I'll generate more mana needed for the combo. I'll go through the graveyard to execute the combo. I'll accelerate my mana while also building up the storm count. With a sufficient storm count, I'll cast Tendrils of Agony. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. These are the cards related to ad nauseam tendrils in the Eldrazi deck. First, there are permanents like Leyline of the Void, Disruptor Flute, Chalice of the Void, Null Rod, and Thorn of Amethyst. In response to these, I'll bring in Echoing Truth, Wear Down, Abrupt Decay, and Boseiju Who Endures as countermeasures. Next, there are graveyard hate cards like Leyline of the Void, Kozilek's Command, and Fairy Macabre. I'll reduce the number of Cabal rituals, as they are more vulnerable to the opponent's graveyard hate cards. Since my opponent will likely bring in graveyard hate post-sideboard and I want to prioritize speed, ideally, I'd aim for the ad nauseam route. To maximize the power of ad nauseam and increase the combo's consistency, I'll include Chrome Mox. Next, regarding Thought-Knot Seer. My opponent will use Thought-Knot Seer to attack my hand while also pressuring me with its 4/4 body. Additionally, with the combination of Glaring Fleshraker and Kozilek's Command, they'll rapidly chip away at my life total. Furthermore, with Sowing Mycospawn, they'll also target my mana base. Sowing Mycospawn's land exiling ability, combined with its land search ability to fetch Wasteland, can lead to a loss for me. By building my mana base with basic lands, I can prevent Sowing Mycospawn from being used to its full potential. That's why I'll include a forest in the deck. Next, let's talk about Mindbreak Trap. You can deal with it using Thoughtseize, Duress, or Vexing Bauble. Veil of Summer can't stop Mindbreak Trap because its effect exiles spells rather than countering them. Therefore, I'll remove all copies of Veil of Summer. Vexing Bauble, being mainly useful against Mindbreak Trap, has a narrow role, so I'll remove it to balance the deck. Next, I'll introduce a little trick for dealing with Mindbreak Trap. Mindbreak Trap can be cast for free if your opponent has cast 3 or more spells in a turn. Let's say on turn 1, you cast 2 Lotus Petals and then play Ponder from an island, ending your turn. On turn 2, you play Dark Ritual from an island and a swamp, then cast Ad Nauseam using the Lotus Petal played on turn 1. Ad Nauseam can be cast without being exiled by Mindbreak Trap. After that, I'll draw cards and generate mana. By timing Hand Disruption to target Mindbreak Trap in my opponent's hand, I can break through. Lastly, I'll introduce a few important things to watch out for before wrapping up the explanation. If you activate Boseiju, Who Endures targeting your opponent's artifact or enchantment, your opponent fetches Wasteland from their deck, and be cautious, as this could also enable your opponent to cast Disruptor Flute, which they had in hand. In the next case, after casting Infernal Tutor and activating Lion's Eye Diamond to achieve Hellbent. At that moment, the Scry mode of Kozilek's Command could disrupt your Hellbent status. Also, if you achieve Hellbent while your opponent has Thought-Knot Seer on the battlefield, your opponent can cast Dismember targeting your opponent's Thought-Knot Seer, forcing them to draw a card when it dies. This could force them to draw a card, disrupting your Hellbent status. While some situations are unavoidable, others can be managed. Keeping these in mind might bring you closer to victory. As an additional note, the reason I didn't remove Beseech the Mirror and Burning Wish this time is rooted in the strategy I've explained. Simply having Kozilek's command at the ready can prevent me from executing a combo with Infernal Tutor, which is why the value of tutors that don't require Hellbent, like Beseech the Mirror and Burning Wish, has increased in this situation. Now, let's get back to the main content. I'll mulligan since I want a faster hand. I'll mulligan since I want a faster hand. I'll send Bayou and Cabal Ritual to the bottom. Chalice of the Void is set at X equals 1. I'll fetch a blue-red Surveil land here, but I think there's a high chance my opponent has Wasteland. I should have fetched a blue-green Surveil land to better handle my opponent's Wasteland, cast Abrupt Decay, and then searched for a tutor using the Surveil land. The effect of Surveil keeps the card on top of the library. My opponent prioritized board development over attacking my mana base with Wasteland, which likely means they could be mana screwed. I'm going all in. From here. With both Leyline of the Void and Chalice of the Void on the battlefield, they likely predicted that I wouldn't be able to win on the next turn. I got a bit lucky, but I'll use Burning Wish to fetch Peer into the Abyss. I'll generate more mana while also building up the storm count. I'll use Hand Disruption to scout ahead, just to be safe. As expected, my opponent's hand revealed that using Wasteland would likely cause them to be mana screwed. With a sufficient storm count, I'll cast Tendrils of Agony. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the frequent play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. This has been ANT, ya.